Hello everyone, my name is Shubhajit and today we are at the 8th video for the problem solving use state series, and that is synced inputs. So let's see what we want to achieve and move forward. We actually have this synced inputs component which contains two input components. These are custom input components, these are not the actual HTML input components. So these input components contain a label, first input, the second one contains a label, second input. Where are these input components defined? These input components are defined here. So we are getting a label which is passed as a prop from here. And for each of the input components, we have a state, which is the text. We have a handle change method, and we have a basic input tag which has a two-way data binding with these state variable with this state variable text. This is a very simple example of an input HTML element in React, and it has a two-way data binding. The value is assigned to text, and the onChange handler will actually set the text to the value which is typed in the input presently. So, and whenever the input is changed, the whole component is re-rendered and the value of the input is changed to the new value. You can basically see it as whatever we type inside this input element, the same thing will be going inside this text state variable. That is it. Fine. Now what we want to achieve is whenever I am changing the first input, let's say Shubhajit, the same thing will be shown here. And whenever I am changing that second input, the same change will be happening on the first input also. Basically, these two first input and the second input should be synced. How can we achieve that? Just think for some time. You should be able to understand that if we, so presently they have states in each of the input elements which is separate, so that's why they are not common, and as they are not common, they are having different values of state. But if we actually uplift this state to an upper component which actually contains these two inputs, then we can pass this state to here along with the handle change method, and inside each of them whatever changes happens now can be actually saved in the common component, and thus the value of them can also be passed to these two inputs, and in that way they can be synced. Let me tell you how. So the state we have defined. Now let's say handle change method set text e dot target dot value. Hope this is understood. Now I am passing the value as text and on change as handle change method, right? The same thing I will be passing here in the second input. Okay, this is fine. Now as I have passed, I have to actually take them inside here. Along with label, I should have a value and also on change, because these key are taken as the prop parameters here. So on change also taken. Fine. So now I can remove this one, and as I have the definitions at the top, so value is value now, and on change is, oh sorry, on change is on change now. Yeah, this one. So now what is happening, if you see, the changes are happening here only, okay, at the main top of the component, and they are passed here. So in this case, now if you see the UI, if I type something here, can you see that they are actually changed in the second input also, and if I delete something or add something new here, the same thing is shown in the first input also. Why is that happening? This is happening because the handle change and the state variable are now present at the top level of the component from where we are passing it to the child components, and thus these two have a common text and also a common handle change method, which actually sets this text to a new value. So that's why these two are synced now. So you have to understand that whenever there are such type of scenarios where you need some common changes over some child components at some level, just use this and lift the state to the common element of those child components and then pass these values here. Okay, hope this video you are able to understand, and put any doubts in the comment section. If you have, I will be happy to answer them. Thank you.